I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and I am ready to present to you yesterday's, actually a full weekends of yesterday's latest in information, current events, pop culture, and information politics types of news. We are your go-to supplemental source for both mainstream and unconventional news stories you may have missed. With a little added context here, there in the queue, 10 stories from the weekend that you deemed as conversational, we pulled together for this newscast. Here, we'll explain the vetting process in a bit and give you some fun stuff at the end to enjoy. So make sure you're checking that out because you will definitely get a kick out of all that stuff. We want to remind you our main website, our home is conversationproject.com online, where you can check out what we do every single day, all day, every day. And of course, you can also see what we have going on or email us to talk about what we have going on at our website. This is conversationproject.com. So let's get into the news for the day, shall we? And apologies for folks who are watching the video and may have some issues for the audio. We're seeming to having a little bit of serious lag issues, and we're finding that in our system. So we're trying to upgrade. We'll explain all that when we do our serious pledge drive in a bit, because we're going to ask you for a bunch of money today. That's kind of what we do in February, the month of love, if you will. Now, hopefully you'll love this newscast. 10 stories in the queue for Friday, Monday, February the 5th, 2024. Let's get into the headlines for today. No particular order as they're being presented, other than the fact that they're how they laid out when we did our work today, how they kind of laid themselves out when we went through the actual lining up of the stories. And we're going to go ahead and get into the U.S. launches retaliatory strikes on Iranian-linked militia targets in Syria. Now, this story is not exactly new news, because obviously we've been dealing with forces and British forces, anyone in the coalition who are trying to assist the actual Israelis in their war. We can call it a war because that's what they're calling it right now. What we're seeing a very strong band of militants, the Houthis, who are very, very, very strong in getting things done. They've been described as fighting fog, if you will, just how brutal it is to attack them and keep up with them. And they're acting as proxies for Iraq itself, so they're essentially just doing what they can to be pests in the situation. We shall see how this thing plays out going forward for a while, because we're going to be in this thing for a while. Israel is not quite listening to what the Biden administration wants to do about, making the war a little less war-ish, but it's it. Let's go to the story that's at number 2 for this morning. That headline reads, Tucker Carlson spotted in Russia leads to Putin speculation. What's the speculation on Putin? It's speculated, it is thought, it is believed, we are pretty sure that Tucker Carlson is going to show, essentially, is where he is. And you'll get a chance to see that in whatever fashion it will be. Maybe he's doing on, but here's one of the weirder things about the whole situation. A lot of people pulled out a bunch of pictures of other journalists, actual journalists who were still in journalism, not so much Tucker, who's being bombastic, who have gone and interviewed Putin, to include Barbara Walters, Tucker Carlson. That's a very good question. We shall see what comes about of this, and if it's worth being up in arms about it in a few. Let's go on to our next story of the morning, and the story is number 3 for this morning. The headline for that one, and it's an interesting one that popped up late last night, and detained by police after winning 3 awards at 2024 Grammys. Literally getting some actual information on this one, like as I'm watching the news, dealing with all the glitches that apparently he's an activist. He's an all-around happy guy for the most part. And he got arrested, detained in cuffs, and walked away from the Grammys last night. It was called he called it basically overzealous confrontation. Essentially, he said it was just a little way too much pushing on him, but hey, he's good. He's happy. He won 3 Grammys last night. We don't know exactly what the actual charges are. At least I don't have anything that says these are the charges. We'll find out hopefully soon because it's kind of weird. Now, this is not the first time that a rapper or anyone's been arrested at the Grammys or something like that. This happens fairly often where people show up wherever the Grammys are, usually in Los Angeles, and because of some outstanding warrant, the police show up, arrest them, walk away with them, and take care of it behind the scenes. We'll see what exactly is up with Killer Mike in a few days, I'm sure. The headline we have next for the fourth story this morning. Only reason he's doing flopping CNN show with Gayle King, and the only reason why he's doing it is because he loves Gayle King. It's a good check, and Charles Barkley doesn't shy away from paychecks. That's something we know for sure. But the big reason why he's actually dealing with it and dealing with the fact that what it is, it's a drain on his time, if you will. He could be doing more other appearances. He's been hanging out with Ernie and Shaq more often. But the big deal that it is he loves Gayle King, and Gayle King had the Chris Schlitz sort of leftovers he had put in place that he couldn't get rid of. Things like Chris Wallace and the CNN. Although the CNN Plus was something he killed before it actually joined. That's a whole other issue. There are a whole bunch of people on contract that they had to do something with. This was something that to turn into a little Chuck will say terrible and just not working. We'll see how long this thing will work for CNN. Let's go to the story we have next for this morning. The headline for it reads, Darius Rucker arrested in Tennessee for alleged minor drug misdemeanor, released on bond. It's been a day, it's been a weekend, it's been a bunch of times for a whole bunch of folks getting pulled over for things. We're not even getting to the fact of Patrick Mahomes Sr. We're not even going to do him today, but we are doing Darius Rucker, who was arrested for minor drug offense. Happened in Tennessee, small amount of a controlled substance. We'll find out what it is in the actual court case appearance. Misdemeanor and simple possession. Following the arrest, he was released on bond. Singer's arrest has sparked discussion among fans and the media, with many showing support for him during his time because, maybe he had a little weed on him. That's essentially what we're looking at. But, of course, the former singer for Hootie and the Blowfish and now country artist, did a little R&B thing as well, did a little time on little drugs, and we hope it's taken care of. The next story for this morning. I did a quick little TikTok on this over the weekend because it seemed like we should be doing more stuff with the State Department dealing with state issues and not Taylor Swift travel plans and, salt and tea. But that's not where we are these days. But this is a good one. Taylor Swift has been assured, we're being assured by the Tokyo embassy that even though it's a 17-hour time difference and a 12-hour flight, Taylor Swift can leave on one day and magically appear the next day in Las Vegas. She's going to leave Tokyo having a great concert, maybe even an encore, and make her way to Alliance Stadium in LA to watch, Las Vegas, LV, to watch her boyfriend Travis Kelce play in the Super Bowl coming this Sunday. Now, here's the kind of kicker on this one. She won a bunch of stuff last night at the Grammys. And of course, Travis Kelce couldn't go out to see her because that was the day that they reported to Las Vegas to start practice for the game. So he had to work. Taylor Swift, getting her work done, finding a way to make it work out, which shows that she is pretty stinking awesome. You got to admit it. You just can't not say that. Now, some more serious questions, some more serious stories, a bunch of more serious stories coming down the line for the next batches. Starting off with this one that we have at number 7. The headline reads, Gunmen take hostage at Procter Gamble factory in Turkey, and apparent protest of Gaza war. There are many ways to protest, and this is one that got a little dangerous. No one was hurt in this one, but apparently just 2 guys were able to take hostage a bunch of folks at a Procter Gamble factory in Turkey as they were protesting the war in Gaza. Now, we know about the big blockage of the bridges lately, and one here in Arkansas. Literally, the bridge between Arkansas and Tennessee was blocked by protesters, which had traffic back down for literally half the state. It was amazingly how efficient they were able to do that. But this is another one that got a little bit out of hand, although both men were taken in fairly quickly. But it's showing that many people are reacting not in the best way to what's going on in these less non-peaceful or more peaceful protests, less non-issue protests, less guns in the protests about what's going on down the line. The story we have for this morning at number 8 for this morning, and normally we stop at 8. We'll explain this when we get to the how things work in the feeds in a moment. Is this one, a Democratic primary, which the court has done. Now we can deciding over who's first, who's second, and who's third. Everything can happen as it needs to happen. Here's the thing. So the black vote, the white vote, the Chinese vote, the Asian vote, the vote for South Carolina. Nobody's worried because South Carolina went for Joe Biden, period. Marianne Williamson coming in second with 2%, and Mike Phillips coming in third with about 1.7%. I don't have the notes in front of me directly. So Mike Phillips with his third showing, very long shot third showing, is showing that him trying to primary Joe Biden, it's not working. He's not getting stronger. That being Biden. Biden's strong enough. Phillips is just making a fool of himself. Marianne Williamson, we're not sure what she's getting out of this, but like I say often, I would vote for her if she had a shot and if she weren't a little, woo-woo. There you go. The story that's number 9 for this morning, and this is one that was a very head-scratching one to see because we covered this one a while back. But here is what the update, which is a really interesting update. Uproar as Bollywood actor Poonam Pandey death, in air quotes, from cervical cancer revealed as a publicity stunt. Now, faking your death for disappearing for the world is one thing because it's mysterious and it's also kind of cool. Faking your death to get a little publicity because you're coming back to do more acting, not so great. The Bollywood star was reported to have died from cervical cancer in a statement released on her social media. It revealed she is alive. The announcement was a fake, part of a stunt that Pandey had to apologize for, causing widespread discussion about the ethics of publicity actions. Seriously, this is worse than the Mr. Peanut dying and coming back to life within a year. That was all for a joke and a very bad commercial. This is very, very bad and brings up the ethics of people trying to bring attention to themselves. I don't follow her work, so I don't know how good or bad she is. I don't know how much publicity she really needed for this. But it happened, and there are issues with it. Final story for this morning, for this Monday morning, is this one. CNN, Justin Moore, who showcased father's beheading in YouTube, had clear mind, DA said. So we held on a bunch on covering the story at all. This is a story about the young man who killed his parents, beheaded his father, had the pictures on YouTube and did a bunch of rants and declared himself the president of the United States in some emergency action. It was very crazy, very wild. So you've seen this in various other platforms. You've seen this story. But the problem is, apparently, they can't find any real sort of mentality issue. They seem to feel he had a very clear mind when he was doing this. He had a purpose. He was doing this and it was going to happen. Now, that does not rule out any sort of a sanity plea or any sort of thing on that end, but it just seems like it wasn't some sort of strike of madness. It was something that was clear-headed and done when he killed his parents and did all this stuff. This is something that's extremely gruesome, extremely hard to take in, so we apologize for that nature of the story. But this is something that, because of the intricacies of it, how detailed it is, how just sort of weird it is, we're going to keep up with it. We'll keep putting it in the feeds, and if you guys enjoy it or want to know more about it, I'm sure you don't enjoy it, we will get you more of. There's an omission section. This is the part where we try to apologize and try to fix things going forward. On Friday, in our teaser story, we had Larry David apologize to Elmo for going on to Today's Show and trying to give the claw to him like he was one of the Von Erichs. So it made it into the top 30. It did. But the problem was, later that evening, Larry David appeared on late night with Steph Myers and basically said he'd do it again. He did not apologize for it. He made a big joke out of it. And while he's in it for laughs and he was on both shows, Today's Show and Seth Meyers, to promote the last season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He did the little whiny Elmo voice as an apology, then did a whiny Elmo voice as in I'd do it again if I had a chance to. So Larry David makes it in, but we had to shift the actual headline. So if this headline, it's a number 2 story for the weekend. If the headline makes it through to the the weekly wrap up, we're going to have this story as opposed to the apology story. The nice story is gone. The mean story is what we're dealing with at this point. Let's go to what we call our teaser story for this, for some of these things. So bear with us. We're pretty sure it's recording and streaming, so we'll see what happens in the replay. We will see, because this is going to be a fun hoot. So we're going to talk right now about our teaser story for the day, which is a story we could talk about later on tomorrow going forward. Now, how we get our stories into the Ethernet of the internet is we post news stories every 50 minutes on our feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/This is the Conversation Project and Twitter.com/th_conversation. When you go to those places, go to those sites to check on your own feeds for your own stuff, we'll be there. Like them, love them, hate them, share them. Click on the links to the stories and read what we're having conversations on. And if you want to conversate on it more, you just simply engage in it. Like it, love it, hate it, share it, as I just said a moment ago. As you engage in the stories, you will see how the engagement goes up. And we'll see the next morning how high engagement is to get up there. For this day, this Monday, we gave you 10 stories. 10 stories from the over 90 stories of the weekend. We pulled the top 30 and pulled those 10 to give you here, plus a little bonus one with the one that's omitted. For the rest of the week, Tuesday through Friday, it'll be 8 stories. 8 stories to get you through the morning, or whenever you can actually see this. We record this at 5:50 a.m. in the morning, and you'll get a chance to see what's going on. Plus, and those will be from the stories from the previous day, so you have that going on. Oh, all that yamming and woman go back to get you this headline here. Nevada Republicans caucus adds. So what does that mean? Quick sip for hydration. So Nevada's coming up with their chances to give the delegates for both the Democrats and the Republicans. Because of some chaos and confusion with the last batch of caucuses, Nevada passed a law that said, we're done with this stuff. It's a primary. Go show up and vote. Although the Republicans are like, no, we love the caucuses. The caucuses are wonderful. We're going to do caucuses, and that's how you get your votes. So you can only be on one ballot or the other ballot. Donald Trump got on the caucus ballot where he's going to win in a landslide, but he didn't get on the actual primary ballot, which Nikki Haley got on. So Nikki Haley can't get any delegates from the other thing. So it doesn't really matter. Donald Trump shows up, he's only going to vote for. You can actually vote for none of the above in the primary to not vote for Nikki Haley because he's not there. But here, a little worry because there's 2 ways to vote and people get confused, even though he's tried to confuse people before in ways to vote. It's detailed. It's crazy. We're going way long in this actual tease. So there's your tease. You want to go deep in details on how this thing's awesome confusion, although Trump's going to win regardless. Go to our feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Look for the story. It's going to be coming out. It's about 10 after 6 right now. It's going to be about an hour or so before this one goes live. So by the time you see the replay, it'll be there. But check out the feeds and see what we have a chance of talking about it. Top 15 stories. Get a shot to be in the top 8 or the 8 for the day. And that is what's going on for there. We're going to talk about our Spotlight sponsor right now, and hopefully you can see a picture of the Blinkist app on what looks like an iPhone and also an Android phone. The Blinkist app is a way to catch up on all the reading that you've not had a chance to get into because it literally is to read. It takes large text and turns them into blinks. The actual meat and potatoes, the actual bits and pieces, actual important parts of the actual stories, and not really. So if there's a long list of books that you've been get to, business books or mental books or personal development books that you've been willing to get to, they've probably got them. And they add more books every single week. So as new books are being released, if you don't want to go to the long form book to read it, they probably have a copy of it coming forward to you. Take a book that may be unabridged that you'd read in about 6 hours. This will give you a book you can read, listen to, or just take it in about 15 to 20 minutes. And share the book, The Blink Experience, with other people who don't actually own the app, and you can have them listen to the short versions and you can discuss it there. Go to our website for our affiliate link. This is conversationproject.com/Blinkist. This is conversationproject.com/Blinkist. This is conversationproject.com/BLINKIST, and get the Blinkist app today. Use this link as an affiliate link so we get a commission if you install the app by using this link. But check it out if you're a person who likes getting your information, because like I am, Blinkist will help you out and you will enjoy this one immensely. Let's go to very quick promotion of what we got going, call to action, if you will, assuming the buttons are going to work properly with this. The Conversation Project lives online at this is conversationproject.com. We can be found there at our website, where you can find plenty of things about us. Now here's where I go through a very long, very detailed, very boring calls of actions, but I'm doing it because it's February. Show us some love. Who are some of the things you can do to help keep us going, help keep things literally on the air for the conversation. We get the things we do from you. You tell us what stories to talk about, from you going to the feeds and engaging in those stories. You can email us at the conversation inbox at gmail.com, because that is how we get the chance to really communicate and see things go back and forth with us. You can also, following along in the very, very big, we'll see if this actually produces, yes, the very big things where you can find us and things you can do. Go to our website, as we said. You can go to Facebook and Twitter, where our feeds are. You can go to TikTok, and you can go to YouTube and look for us there. The Conversation Project gives you videos and choosing YouTube shorts and little, we call them TikTok hot takes. There you will go. We have an audio podcast that you, our partnerships page, or just go to buymeacoffee.com/jclevelandpayne, and you can subscribe to our feed so you can help us be a part of the long-term things going on. Cash App and Venmo are there as well at our partnership page, because we don't turn down any sort of cash to keep things going. We are looking to gain $200 of extra cash on a consistent basis every month this year. So we're looking for additional pledging of $200 by the end of this month. Are you willing to give us a little bit more to help us work? It's only a couple days, a couple issues, the thing been out, so I think there's internet issues here locally, so bear with me. It's gonna be a weird replay, a weird audio, trust me. But check us out at our website. This is conversationproject.com. All those things I said are there, listed there as well, especially the link to become a partner. So we're looking for that. We definitely need the partnerships, but we also definitely need you guys to show up and email us with stuff going on. Now, because of the extra long calls to action, we are a little behind on the day, although we run a little late on Mondays anyway. So let's get into the fun stuff for today. The fun stuff is always be fun stuff to have. Birthdays for the day include Tim Meadows, fun person to talk about, because for a long time, the long-standing member of Saturday Night Live was sort of the running joke of, hey, Tim, you now officially the long title, and we had not Tim Meadows. You know, we're going with what we're going with at this point. they're all made up. Um, so it is what it is. That's just how the thing is going. So there you go. In the meantime, you can celebrate with your friends, your family, and all folks in the world as Nutella took on to make this thing a semi-real thing and call it World Nutella Day and make it something they share with everyone. So go to the Nutella website. There's a link for World Nutella Day. There's a link for World Nutella Day and get in on the action. Get you some Nutella. I guess you got to buy your own Nutella. I guess that part is sort of, you know, you got to go acquire it on your own. But get you some Nutella and have some fun on this World Nutella Day. And as I keep pressing buttons that things you may not see, you may not even hear me or see me anymore, we're going to get out of here. So hopefully you heard the last 2 minutes and had fun. Oh, by the way, it's Tim Meadows' birthday and Bobby Brown's, just in case you didn't. This has been Things You Might Not Have Heard. I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and some of the things you might have heard may have been most of the broadcast today. And it just is what it is. So we're just going to have to roll with it. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. We survived. You survived. We're all survivors. Yeah. In the meantime, next things and things you are here in this world to do, and just be lovely people. How about that? Be lovely. Let's do that. Love you, mean it. We're gonna click some buttons. Hope we get off the air. I'm gonna sit here and make some weird faces through watching video until this thing stops, because I think that's what's gonna happen. And we're gonna try again like tomorrow. We're gonna hope that we have better internet, better the bars aren't going on, the picture doesn't drop out, and I don't disappear. I'm almost positive we're still broadcasting. Project. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. However you're part of the show, we're gonna try this again. The whole